Welcome to Lesson 6.9 of the Grant Architect course. In this lesson, we explore letters of support, the most common form of partnership documentation in grant proposals. Letters of support demonstrate that others believe in your project and are willing to contribute resources, expertise, or collaboration. Effective letters strengthen proposals by providing external validation and demonstrating community buy-in, while weak or generic letters add little value and may even raise concerns. By the end of this lesson, you will know how to obtain compelling letters that genuinely enhance your applications, what elements make letters effective, and how to guide partners in writing strong letters. What letters of support do in grant proposals extends beyond simply documenting that others are willing to help. Understanding these functions helps you obtain letters that truly strengthen your application. Credibility enhancement occurs when respected organizations or individuals endorse your project. A letter from a prominent community organization or a field expert signals that knowledgeable parties believe in your work. This borrowed credibility can be particularly valuable for newer organizations. Community validation demonstrates that the people you intend to serve actually want your project. Letters from community leaders, target population representatives, or local organizations show that your project addresses real needs identified by the community itself. Partnership documentation provides evidence that collaborative relationships are real and specific. Letters that detail partner commitments go beyond general endorsement to demonstrate concrete planned contributions. Capacity demonstration shows that you have access to resources, relationships, and support needed for success. Letters can document access to populations, facilities, expertise, or other assets that strengthen your implementation plan. Reviewer reassurance addresses potential concerns before they become problems. If reviewers might wonder about community acceptance, organizational capacity, or partnership strength, letters can proactively provide reassurance. Different types of support letters serve different purposes. Endorsement letters provide general support for the project. They say the organization supports your work and believes in its value. These are the most basic type. Commitment letters include specific resource commitments. They detail what the partner will contribute, such as staff time, facilities, or funding. These are stronger than simple endorsement. Collaboration letters describe plans for joint work. They explain how organizations will work together on the project. These demonstrate deeper partnership. Community letters provide support from those you will serve. Letters from community members or organizations representing target populations add legitimacy. They show community demand and buy-in. Different letter writers serve different purposes. Partners are organizations actively involved in the project. Their letters describe specific roles and commitments. Partner letters are most common and often most important. Stakeholders are those affected by or interested in the work. Organizations representing target populations, related service providers, or community groups provide stakeholder perspective. Experts are recognized authorities who endorse your approach. A letter from a leading researcher or practitioner adds credibility to your methodology. Expert endorsement matters for innovative approaches. Officials are government or civic leaders supporting the effort. Letters from mayors, legislators, or agency directors demonstrate political support. Official support can matter for implementation. Obtaining effective letters of support requires proactive effort and clear communication with potential supporters. Identify supporters strategically based on what your proposal needs. What types of validation would strengthen your application? Community support, partner commitment, expert endorsement. Target your request to obtain letters that address specific needs. Request letters early to allow adequate time for writing, review, and revision. Letters requested days before deadline often reflect the rush. Early requests also show respect for supporters' time and competing priorities. Provide clear guidance about what you need. Tell supporters what the letter should address, what specific commitments you hope they will make, and any format requirements from the funder. Do not assume supporters know what makes letters effective. Offer to provide background information including project summaries, descriptions of their role, and examples of effective letters. Making it easy for supporters to write strong letters increases the chances they will do so. Provide draft language if appropriate, particularly for specific commitment statements. Partners may appreciate having exact language about their contributions to review and approve. Follow up appropriately without being pushy. Check in as the deadline approaches to ensure letters will arrive on time. Express genuine appreciation for the time and effort involved in providing support. Writing letters for partners is standard practice. Common practice acknowledges that applicants often draft letters for partners. Partners are busy and may not know what to include. Drafting helps them help you. Benefits include ensuring letters include needed content. If you need specific commitments mentioned, including them in the draft ensures they appear. Process involves draft, share, let partner customize and sign. Create a draft letter, send to the partner. They revise as needed and sign on their letterhead. Ethics require that the partner must genuinely support the project. Do not fabricate support. The letter must reflect actual agreement. Partners should only sign what they genuinely endorse. Letter format and structure influence how effectively letters communicate support for your project. While specific requirements vary by funder, certain structural elements appear consistently in strong letters. Professional letterhead establishes legitimacy and identifies the source organization. Letters should be printed on official organizational letterhead with complete contact information. Date and address follow standard business letter format. Letters should be dated close to the submission deadline to demonstrate currency. Address the letter to the funder or include a generic salutation as appropriate. Opening paragraph identifies the writer, their organization, their relationship to the applicant, and the purpose of the letter. Establish who is writing and why their perspective matters. Body paragraphs provide substantive content about the project and the writer's specific support. This is where specific commitments, endorsements, and relevant information belong. Strong letters devote most of their length to substantive content rather than generic pleasantries. Closing paragraph summarizes support and offers further engagement. Express enthusiasm and provide contact information for follow-up questions. Signature with title and contact information verifies the letter's authenticity and enables verification if needed. Keep total length appropriate, typically 1 page, unless extensive commitments require more space. Content structure for effective letters moves from general endorsement to specific commitment. Opening the letter should identify the writer and establish their credibility to provide meaningful endorsement. Why does this person's opinion matter? What is their relevant expertise or position? Project understanding demonstrates that the writer knows what they are endorsing. Brief description of the project shows genuine familiarity rather than rubber stamp approval. Specific support details what the writer or their organization will actually do. This is the most important content. Vague general support adds little value. Specific commitments such as providing meeting space for monthly sessions, referring eligible clients, or contributing staff expertise demonstrate real partnership. Rationale explains why the writer supports this particular project. Connection to their own mission, recognition of community need, confidence in the applicant organization, or other reasons all provide meaningful context. Quantification, where applicable, strengthens commitment descriptions. How many referrals? How many hours of staff time? What dollar value of in-kind support? Numbers demonstrate seriousness of commitment. Enthusiasm, while professional, should convey genuine support rather than grudging compliance. Writers who clearly believe in the project are more persuasive than those fulfilling an obligation. Common letter problems undermine what should strengthen proposals. Recognizing these problems helps you prevent them. Generic language that could describe any project suggests the writer does not really know or care about your specific work. Avoid template letters with blanks filled in. Each letter should demonstrate specific familiarity with your project. Lack of specific commitments reduces letters to mere endorsement without substance. So what if someone supports your project if they are not doing anything about it? Push for specific, actionable commitments. Wrong audience voice occurs when letters clearly written by the applicant rather than the ostensible author. Reviewers recognize when all letters sound the same and match the proposal's voice. Let partners write in their own voice. Outdated letters suggest stale relationships. Letters dated months before submission raise questions about current commitment. Obtain fresh letters close to the deadline. Incorrect details in letters contradict your proposal and undermine credibility. Ensure letter writers have accurate information about project scope, timeline, and their role. Weak signatories lack the authority to make organizational commitments. A line staff person cannot commit organizational resources. Ensure letters come from individuals with appropriate authority. Missing contact information prevents verification and suggests letters may not be legitimate. Requesting letters effectively improves quality. Early outreach requests letters well before deadline. Partners need time to review and sign. Late requests create stress and lower quality. Clear ask explains what you need and why. Tell partners what the letter should include. Explain the funder and opportunity. Give context for the request. Provide materials by sharing project summary and draft if helpful. Partners write better letters when they understand your project. A draft letter helps them know what content you need. Follow up to confirm receipt and thank partners. Track whether letters have been received. Send reminders if needed. Always thank partners for their support. Managing multiple letters requires organization. Tracking system monitors requests, drafts, and receipt. Create a spreadsheet or checklist tracking each letter. Note who has been asked, who has agreed, draft status, and receipt. Coordination ensures letters complement rather than repeat. If all letters say the same thing, they add little. Different partners should highlight different aspects. Quality control reviews all letters before submission. Read every letter. Check for errors, missing elements, or content that could hurt rather than help. Organization compiles letters in order for submission. Funders may specify letter order. Otherwise, organize logically, such as partners first, then stakeholders. Determining how many letters requires judgment. Follow guidelines if funders specify and comply exactly. If the RFP says include 3 to 5 letters, include 3 to 5 letters. Do not exceed limits. Quality over quantity means few strong letters beat many weak ones. 3 excellent letters with specific commitments are better than 10 generic endorsements. Focus on quality. Coverage includes letters from key partner types. Cover major partner categories such as service delivery, research, and community. Each letter should represent a different type of support. Proportionality matches letter volume to project scope. A small project needs fewer letters than a large consortium. Match documentation to project complexity. Letters that hurt rather than help your proposal do exist, and recognizing what makes letters counterproductive helps you avoid requesting or including damaging support. Damning with faint praise occurs when letters express lukewarm support that suggests the writer has reservations. If you cannot get enthusiastic support, reconsider whether to include the letter at all. Revealing concerns happens when letter writers mention potential problems or express worries about project feasibility. Well-intentioned honesty can provide ammunition for reviewers to reject proposals. Contradicting the proposal occurs when letter content conflicts with your application narrative. Different numbers, different timelines, or different scope descriptions create credibility problems. Ensure consistency across all materials. Overpromising beyond capacity describes letters that commit to more than partners can actually deliver. Overgenerous commitments that cannot be fulfilled create implementation problems and damaged relationships. Appearing forced suggests the writer was pressured into support. Reluctant letters convey obligation rather than enthusiasm. Internal inconsistency within a single letter that praises the project while raising concerns sends mixed signals that confuse reviewers. Review all letters carefully before submission and consider whether each one genuinely strengthens your application. Here is a practical exercise to apply what you have learned. Step 1. List potential letter writers for a project. Who could endorse your project? Consider partners, stakeholders, experts, and officials. Step 2. Categorize by type of support each can provide. What kind of letter would each provide? Endorsement, commitment, collaboration, or community? Step 3. Draft a sample letter for one key partner. Write a draft letter for your most important partner. Include all effective elements. Step 4. Create a tracking spreadsheet for letter collection. Build a tracking tool with columns for name, organization, request date, draft sent, received, and notes. Let us summarize the key points from this lesson. Letters of support are the most common form of partnership documentation. They demonstrate relationships, add credibility, show capacity, and meet funder requirements. Elements include project reference, relationship history, specific commitments, and contact information. Effective letters include all essential elements tailored to the specific proposal. Management requires tracking, coordinating, and reviewing all letters. Multiple letters require organization to ensure quality and completeness. In our next lesson, we will explore sustainability models, focusing on planning for the future and demonstrating to funders that your project will continue beyond grant funding.